So I was originally going to start this video as sort of a game dev vlog on the Wildborne Modpack. But then I realized that would just be me rambling on and on about a bunch of technical details that none of you all really cared about, and some of those might go right over your head and leave you confused. So rather than do that, I thought of an even better idea. Are you ready? Drum roll, please. Get ready for Script or Mod, the wonderful game show where I, your host, Scarlet Fury, pose an interesting challenge. Is the new mechanic, the new feature that I used in Wildborne, as shown briefly on the video, a script or a mod? In other words, did I use JavaScript to code it, or is it a standalone mod? Up to you guys to try and guess and figure out which it is. The game will be divided into 3 different rounds, each with 5 questions, each getting progressively harder and harder. I also figured this is a fun way to show off a lot of the fun features you can expect in Wildborne Survival. So, let's get started. For this first round, you have 2 choices, 50-50 chance, script or mod. For each question you get right in the entire game, you'll get 1 point. Add up your score at the end, total, to see how well you did. This first gameplay mechanic features flint. By right-clicking with a flint item on a stone-type block, you can sharpen it, or nap it. No, not falling asleep, but napping it into a sharper flint, aka a flint shard. The amount of flint shards you receive is randomized. Sometimes you get none, sometimes you get 2, sometimes you get 1. It applies to any type of stone block. It can be cobblestone, it can be cobblestone stairs, it can be regular stone, it could be terracotta. Doesn't matter the shape, doesn't matter the type, as long as it's a stone. So what do you think, guys? Is this a script or a mod? Pause the video, and I'll tell you the answer after you've written down yours. The answer is, drumroll please, a script! Yes, this feature, this mechanic, in the early game Wildborne Survival was coded entirely in JavaScript, using a very special mod, which I can get into more detail later. Perhaps even do some tutorials on later. KubeJS. This next Wildborne Modpack feature is very helpful early game, especially if you find yourself spawning into a very difficult biome. Basically, you can find all sorts of randomly generated sticks and rocks all over the world. Different biomes have different types of sticks and rocks. Sometimes they're oak sticks, birch sticks, acacia sticks, jungle sticks. All of those drop a singular stick. The rocks can also be varied. You could have cobblestone rocks, or splitters as they're called. You could also have sandstone splitters, or red sandstone splitters. Perhaps even gravel ones, which drop flint, which then ties into the earlier gameplay mechanic we were talking about. See how it all ties together? That's how I intended it. So what do you think, guys? Script or mod? Drum roll, please. The answer is a mod. This is the This Rocks mod. That's this and then rocks with an exclamation point. You can find it for Forge and NeoForge. When downloaded, it'll randomly generate all these rocks and sticks throughout your world, making it feel a lot more immersive, but also more useful, especially if you need these sticks and rocks to craft various things, which we'll get to later. Our next Wildborne feature is customized loot tables. This applies to the starting bonus chest, as seen here. There are a few things in this chest that you would not normally find in Survival Minecraft. It also applies to ruined portal chests and underwater ruins chests, as well as every single structure chest throughout the entire world. Each of these chests contains a vast variety of items, both modded and vanilla, that can assist you throughout your journeys and explorations and surviving. They are all completely customized and all very different. This same feature also customizes the loot of fishing. Sometimes you get 1 junk, sometimes you get 1 fish, sometimes you get neither, and absolutely nothing. You just get nothing. Other times you get 2 fish, other times you get 2 junk, other times you get a junk and a fish. And even the treasure can pop up at various different times very differently than normal vanilla Minecraft. This makes fishing much more dynamic and realistic and feels a lot more balanced. And yes, this even applies to custom block drops. In this case, punching grass and dirt, and sometimes other dirt-like blocks, will yield a gravel. This doesn't always happen though. It's a randomized chance, specifically designed to help you, but also not be too easy. And sometimes that also drops flint. So what do you think, guys? Script or mod? The answer is multiple scripts. I use KubeJS's sister add-on mod, LootJS, to customize every single one of these loot tables with many, many, many different scripts for many, many different situations. This next feature in Wildborne are the giant fortified villages. These are large villages that span a pretty decent plot of land, and they have all sorts of different buildings, from little houses to larger workshops and bakeries and butcher shops and even bars, and some are multi-story. As you can see here, there's an upstairs. Some are just one story with vaulted ceilings, and then there's always a big castle in the center of these villages. They're a little more rare than regular villages because they contain a lot of chests that you can loot, as you can see me doing here. Scarlet's gotta take her food. So what do you think? You think this is a mod or a script? And the answer is a mod. This is part of the World Gen mod, specifically the Terralith biome mod. So Terralith adds a bunch of new biomes to the world that kind of fill in the cracks where vanilla doesn't have these transitional biomes. And it also places all these really cool structures all over, like the fortified village. This next mechanic is very critical to the early game of Wildborne. You cannot break certain blocks at all without the right tool. As you can see, Scarlet is demonstrating that only certain blocks can be broken, such as gravel. You could dig up gravel. And the looter chests, well, you could break them, but it's not a good idea because you'll lose all your loot. You can break ladders, but you can't break stones, or stairs, or anything else without the right tool, whether that be a pickaxe or an axe. And this is to really just add to the realism of the entire pack. Because if you could just break trees and punch trees, well, then it defeats the purpose of the realism. Because in real life, you can't walk up to a tree and punch it. That would just get you a bunch of bloody fists. It sounds very painful. So in Wildborne, you actually have to properly seek out resources, materials, and, you know, do as ancient populations used to do. Scour the earth and create and build and scavenge. It adds a whole new dimension to survival. So what do you think? Is this a script or a mod? And the answer is a script. This was all coded by yours truly in JavaScript using KubeJS, as before. Alright, hopefully you did well on round 1, but we're on to round 2. 5 more questions, but this time we're gonna change it up a bit. You have 3 choices: script, mod, or data and resource pack. Choose wisely. This first question is a little tricky.
That's fine.
All of a sudden, villagers could talk. But do they truly make any sense?
Hey.
This feature of Wildborne is specifically to enhance the realism of what villagers actually do.
Come on in, I'll fix you up.
Before, it was just boring hars and hars and Now, they actually speak voice lines. Is this a mod, a script, or a resource pack? The answer is a resource pack. Alongside Wildborne, I will be releasing a modded and vanilla themed resource pack. that enhances every aspect of the game, from the textures, to the models, to the sounds, and even some of the text. The villagers talking kinda adds to that, so I like it.
Enjoy the day.
This next addition to the Wildborne Modpack is the ability to crawl. No longer can you not fit through one block spaces. Simply hold G and army crawl your way through.
Welcome.
It's the perfect solution for adventurers and cavers alike. Huzzah! So what do you think? Is this a script, a mod, or a resource pack? The answer is a mod. This is the crawling mod, or crawl mod.
Someone's in a hurry.
This next Wildborne feature is something that fixes something in vanilla Minecraft that has annoyed me for a very long time. The ability to finally ford streams, and rivers, and oceans even, with your horses. In vanilla Minecraft, they just immediately sink and kick you off of them, which is really annoying and really unrealistic, because in real life, cowboys would use horses across streams and rivers all the time. And so this is a great new way to explore. So what do you think? Script, mod, or resource pack? The answer is mod. This is the horses can swim mod. Pretty self-explanatory. The next special Wildborne feature we're going to talk about is manure. Animals will randomly drop it once or twice each Minecraft day. Or night. The manure can be collected and then used as a fertilizer. A great alternative to bone meal, since, you know, skeletons spawning at night isn't exactly realistic. So what do you think, everybody? Is this a script, a mod, or a resource pack? And the answer is a mod. This is the manure mod. Go figure.
Come back anytime.
Come back anytime. You went out wearing that. Enjoy the day. Come back anytime. Enjoy the day.
This next critical feature of Wildborne is custom recipes. This could be crafting recipes, blast furnace recipes, smithing table recipes, cartography table recipes, you name it. Like for instance right here, crafting 3 gravel into 2 flint. Whoops, wrong recipe there in JEI, but yeah, there you go. That's the right one. So, what do you think? Is this a script, a mod, or a resource pack? Let's showcase a few more examples of how these custom recipes work. For instance, those flint shards we talked about earlier. You could take a stick and turn it into a flint knife. Wow. Very different. And then you can, you know,
A little dark in here.
cut up some grass there, some short grass, and eventually gain some straw. Eventually. There you go. And take that straw and craft it into plant string. Whoa, where'd that come from? Again, all these custom recipes are specifically for the Wildborne mod pack. So, mod, script, or resource pack? And the answer is scripts. Multiple scripts, in fact. I coded all of these special custom KubeJS scripts in JavaScript, and they all change how a lot of the recipes work in vanilla Minecraft, so that Wildborne feels more balanced and realistic. It's time for the final round, the final 5 questions. So, once again, you have 3 choices. Is it a script, a mod, or a resource/data pack? Good luck. This next special custom Wildborne feature involves custom items and tools, and sometimes even weapons or ingredients that you can craft with. So let's see how Scarlet gets there. Got some sugarcane, turning it into paper. What could be next? Oh, wait, 6 paper. Cardboard? Ooh, cardboard's new. Where'd cardboard come from? Now, what else can you do with that? Let's see. A bunch of cardboard, okay. Taking the cardboard and crafting it into... What? A cardboard box? Ooh. Fancy. I wonder what those are used for. Fascinating. But yes, Wildborne adds a bunch of custom recipes and ingredients and items that can all be used for various different other recipes from other mods. So what do you think, everybody? Scripts, mods, or resource and data packs? And the answer is... scripts! Every single one of these custom items have been added specially by me using KubeJS again. JavaScript and KubeJS are so helpful for adding all sorts of new custom features, even things you may not normally think about. Speaking of things you don't normally think about, Scarlet's got a little demonstration for us here. So, using the regular furnace, you're usually able to stick in a bunch of iron and coal and just start smelting your ores, right? Oh, whoa. Can't do that now. What happened? Weird. Maybe you gotta try the blast furnace instead? Let's see. Oh, look, the recipe doesn't even exist. It's not even showing up in JEI. Interesting. And there's a whole bunch of other new recipes there, too. We mentioned adding recipes earlier. Oh, what about the blast furnace? Does that work? Oh, no. That doesn't work either? Curious. Yes, in Wildborne, there are a whole bunch of vanilla recipes that have even been removed to change the entire gameplay progression, make it a little trickier and more realistic and believable. So what do you think, guys? Was this done using scripts, mods, or resource and data packs? The answer is... scripts. Yes, KubeJS can even remove a bunch of recipes. Like I said, things you don't normally think about. But if we're going to change the other recipes, why not remove things too? Now, I may have accidentally dropped a hint for this next question earlier on. See if you've been paying attention. Scarlet's going to craft something special with steel. Let's see. Hempcrete, treated sticks, got a steel knife. Interesting. Where'd the steel knife come from? Farmer's Delight Mod doesn't have steel knives. It's brand new. And it acts just like a regular Farmer's Delight knife. It deals a certain amount of damage when attacking enemies. It can be used to cut grass and collect the straw that you need to craft plant string that we mentioned earlier. And if you make a cutting board, it can cut things just like the regular Farmer's Delight knives. So what do you think, guys? Is this a script? Or a mod? Or a resource and data pack? And the answer is... again, a startup script. Using KubeJS, JavaScript, and its sister mod, KubeJS Delight. This next Wildborne feature is kind of quick to demonstrate, so I'm gonna have to talk pretty fast. But Scarlet's got a bucket here. Looks like we're trying to get a bucket of lava. Let's see what happens. Whoa! Huh, an error message popped up. And where'd the first bucket go? Oh, never mind, we lost both buckets. Huh. Definitely unrealistic to grab lava with a bucket, though, so I guess that makes sense. So what do you think, guys? Is that a script? Or a mod? Or a resource pack? If you've caught on by now, yes, this was also done with a server-side script using KubeJS. Again, Wildborne is all about realism, so we can't have players obtaining buckets of lava. You wouldn't be able to hold lava in a big bucket like that. It would melt all over and make a big mess. And for the final question, if you've been paying pretty close attention, and or are just an extreme Minecraft nerd like me, you probably noticed that, wow, Scarlet's had to eat a lot more. And this is intentional. The Wildborne Modpack adjusts the hunger rate of the player. It's unrealistic to be able to go more than 3 days without food, and so the hunger rate is actually increased. So, what do you think? Is that
That's
implemented
fine
with a script, a mod, or a resource pack? And the answer is a script. You may have noticed every single answer in the last 5 questions was a script, and the reason for this is I really wanted to highlight and showcase how powerful KubeJS and its sister mods can be. Maybe later on I'll do tutorials on how each of these scripts were created.
Greetings.
Because let me tell you, it is really cool to be able to create a custom JavaScript that does exactly what you want, to tweak the game to your liking. Well, I hope you enjoyed this wonderful little video, kind of a teaser on some of the epic and challenging survival gameplay mechanics that you will find in the Wildborne Modpack, as I'm getting prepared to release the public beta for it. Again, it is a public beta that's coming out soon, so expect bugs because it's in beta, but I will try and patch those as soon as possible, whether you comment on videos or comment in wherever you download the pack from, whether that be CurseForge or Modrinth, etc. But I will do my best to fix those and patch those as quickly as possible, as well as release the future updates of what I want the entire mod pack to be cohesively. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this little preview of what's to come. Maybe in the future, after I publicly release it, I could do some gameplay trailers, and perhaps even a little survival series of myself playing it as well. Because it is significantly more challenging, but also significantly more rewarding. Again, we're going for realism here. The entirety of Wildborne was built around the simple question: if you were randomly taken up and dropped down in the middle of the wilderness, in modern society, like these days, how would you survive with absolutely nothing? Going from no resources to full-on machinery or modern tech. Let me know in the comments below what you thought, and I will see you party ponies later. Hasta la pasta.